Yeah, I ended up actually making this beat completely on accident. I was actually working on another project for me and Playboy Floyd, and I ran across like the melody just out of pure luck or whatever. And then earlier that day, I'd been listening to "Duck My Ex" by Tory Lanez, and I realized it really only had like 2 chords. I'm like, it can't be that easy. So from that point on, I was literally just looking for like my 2-chord piano song. You know?
Been back on the beat for a minute, so you know that I've been killing. Got bars, you can peep it. Got game, no chain, spit flames, one plash, go rings. Y'all can keep it. Slow rap ain't shit if you just can't spit. Lay back on the beat, they chillin'. So if you call my name, please stay in your lane, or it's nothing go bad like.
So I actually made this beat back in June, about 2 months before it came out on 111 South Martin Street. And like I said before, I was messing around in a different project, and I played that do-do-do, like out of pure luck. I was just like screwing around with different synthesizers, and I heard that, and I was like, oh, it's kind of fire. So I immediately like quit the project I was working on, started a new one in GarageBand, and laid it down. It sounded like this at first. So obviously it was just like straight piano, and I wanted to change it up. So I instantly went to synthesizers and started going through different ones, and I came across this icy synth lead, which sounded something a little bit like this. Now that's probably the sound that everybody recognizes from the actual beat, but it's a little drier than usual, and I liked it, but it was like it needed something else. So I literally went down to the delay and reverb channels and turned them like completely up. I was just messing around with it to see if it would work, and it actually sounded really sick, and this is what we got. So that's like the meat and bones of the whole project, right? That was pretty simple. And once I did that, I went straight on to the hats. So the way that I do my hats is I like to put one down on every beat. So like I just put everything down on the metronome, and then I go back and click it in, which ended me up with 2 really big rolls with the 2 taps at the end, like this. Yeah, and once I did that, I moved on to the claps and what I like to call a secondary clap, which is really just a kick that I added to fill in the space. So the claps go on the 2 and 4, like pretty much everything, and a little bit like this. So that secondary clap, which is the kick, goes like in between those filler holes from where like the hi-hat stops, and I really like the way they kind of brought the beat together as a whole. From there, I moved on to the 808s, and I started with a really complex 808 that like hit every single one of the da-da-dits like that, and playing it back, it just sounded so rough. So I ended up going with what I went with, which was just 2 simple 808s, and each one hit on the beginning chord of each of like the step-ups. So this. So the last thing I did for the beat was I added this like really deep synth kick from the trapdoor plugin on GarageBand, and I just added like a second hit on the second 808, which kind of just added a little bit more depth to it. It's kind of hard to hear, so I don't know if you can tell, but it's what it sounds like. So I really liked this, and it sounded really good to me, but it was just like the same loop over and over again, so I added these breaks in between just to break it up, and then the way that I wrapped the flow on it on top of that really like helped divide the depth between like verse and chorus. And the last thing I had to do from there was add the producer tag on.
Chandler on the beat, boy.
And the rest is history.
I've been putting in the work, I've been going through the dirt. All the girls wanna flirt, but I really ain't concerned. I'm a young kid savage, bad at mathematics. That's why I do rapping. I don't go to classes. I'm following passions while keeping it classy.
Once I found out how many rap beats were like 2 or 3 chords, it really changed how I was making beats at the time, because I was really trying to do like in-depth with all these crazy samples and different sounds, but it really like it changed my way to be able to be like, oh, I can make these songs with 2 or 3 chords, and I made this one in like an hour, and I think it's honestly one of my best
Back
beats.
in better despite all the weather, I swear I'll be popping by June. Shoot, lately I don't know what to do. Nah, I don't. I've been trying to make all these songs for you, working hard. So maybe I'll just throw it back to my roots. Throw it back. 111 South Martin, what it do? What it do? Yeah.